Hello everyone, this is James. I am a student of Doctor of Communication at the University of the Philippines, Open University. I am here to present to you a bird's eye view on how information and communications technology, or ICT, is practiced in Japan. I have divided my presentation into three parts. First, I will talk about what ICT fundamentally means and how it affects our social communications. Next, I will be showing the means and channels that are commonly used by the people in Tokyo, Japan, to communicate on a daily basis. Finally, I will be discussing the possible future of ICT here in Japan in relation to SDGs. Let's begin. ICT has generally no definitive meaning, but instead it is an umbrella term that is often related to digital devices, networking components, applications and systems that facilitates interaction with the digital world. So when it's digital, it is often related to ICT, though that could interchangeably mean IT. But ICT is more comprehensive. That includes components related to computers and digital tools. Those could mean the combinations of data, internet access, cloud computing, software, hardware, online transactions, and communications technology. Given such wide reach, ICT has definitely revolutionized the way we all live. The way we work, study, and interact with each other on a daily basis. ICT has greatly impacted our societies to the point that it is considered, including myself, the fourth industrial revolution, because just like its predecessors, it has ushered in the new age of economical and societal developments, just like the first, second, and third industrial revolutions. New markets and jobs were created during those times, and it has, of course, moved people from one industry to another, with the latter often diminishing in value. Well, you remember just like when horses were replaced by cars, and now those cars are being revamped into hybrids, EVs, and even self-driving ones. The way ICT impacted economics cannot be overstated. There was a time when the internet cost a lot of money for an hour, despite being so slow. But now it is often free, yet so fast. That said, ICT has brought about affordability of so many choices for all consumers all over the world. Although that's not absolute, but if you could compare what we have right now compared to 10 years ago, we have definitely gone so far. Also, the online shopping or e-commerce, it has shattered geographical borders and even endangers the brick and mortar businesses. Therefore, we can say that modern life would be very hard to imagine without ICT. All right, next. Let's now go to my next topic. How do societies in Japan make use of ICT? Specifically in Tokyo, where I currently live. First off, Japanese tend to communicate through emails as the channel for business communications. It is a custom in Japan to exchange meshi, or business cards, at the beginning of a business transaction. The meshi has the name of the person, his position, his company's name, and his company email. It is very unlikely that a personal email will be used in a business transaction here in Japan. On the other hand, friends or families or acquaintances tend to make use of mobile messaging apps There is one, it's famous here in Japan, we call it Line. It's similar to FB, Messenger, Viber, and WhatsApp, or Kakao Talk. Those are all similar. However, SMS have, even though it's not commonly used among friends, it's still being used by businesses. So when one is called by a phone number, it is definitely related to business. If you receive an SMS, it's more likely concerning business. If not, if it's through Line or other mobile messaging app, it's usually an acquaintance or a family member or a friend or a classmate. Now, given such dichotomous methodology, still households tend to keep their landline phones, as we have as well. And offices tend to have fax machines, just like in our office. In fact, when you visit Tokyo, you will be very surprised to see still a lot of payphone booths around the city. Because Japan is a very conservative society and very private. Therefore, Facebook isn't popular here. And people tend to have a closed group chats, and in my case, our school has our own communication platforms. For instance, in the English school where I work, our company makes use of Microsoft Teams for all our company's transactions, actually, whether that be memos, announcements, news, assignments, and so on. Everything will be through MS Teams. On the other hand, in the university where I work, we make use of the platform called Blackboard, where we can communicate with our students and co-teachers privately. And yes, let's go now to the final part of my presentation. Let's talk about the future of ICT in Japan. Through my own perspective and how I have experienced the effects of SDG in the society here, and its implementations. Let's start with one. Japan is becoming paperless society. Though Japan is still slow with its implementation due to the fact that the society is very conservative when it comes to radical changes, I can see that within 10 years, the society will move towards the digitization or digitalization of almost every transaction. For instance, we used to need to go to the bank to open an account or apply for a bank loan. But nowadays, we can open a bank account without stepping a foot in a bank. And the same is true with bank loans. We can actually get approved or be denied without going to a bank. Now, that move is related to SDG 12 and 13, which are about responsible consumption and production and climate action. Japan really wants to lessen its trash and carbon footprint. So this kind of move is being encouraged in all business industries here. Secondly, due to the impact of COVID-19 pandemic, companies are forced to move their operations remotely, which gravely affected their performances. The society was actually in shock, and only 30% of businesses were able to adjust. But given the positive results afterwards, through the cost effectiveness of having less commutation and less crowded trains, therefore congestion is not there. So many companies are now moving towards 100% remote working. This gives more opportunities for single and working mothers, because there was a time when mothers will have to give up their careers due to child care. But that is changing through digitization or digitalization of work here in Japan. Okay, so now we have found ICT development has coincided with the development of the society or vis-a-vis in Japan. Maybe we could say that the society is actually developing due to ICT. So the rapid developments of technologies and incessant push of globalization into this, I would say, closed country may soon have its way and completely revolutionize how people and machines communicate. Thank you very much for listening to my short blog or vlog. I hope you kind of grasp what's happening here in Japan and how ICT is affecting the society here. I'm sure it's not only here in Japan, but I'm sure ICT is affecting all of us globally. Thank you again, and have a good day.